Well, good day, you beautiful people in the land of gathering of the Griots. Welcome. I am Asadah, if you don't already know, and you are tuned into a wonderful show today. And so let's get it started with our lovely message from Naima Latif and the Female Solution and come back and we're going to Juneteenth it up, baby. Black Scientologist style. Take two.
Talk Radio. Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution radio show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, bonjour. In Spain, hola. In Italy, ciao. In Egypt, ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, akwaba. In Nigeria, peleo. In South Africa, sawubona. In Senegal, nangadef. In Kenya, jambo. In Israel, shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, Palestine, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Join us live on the on-air radio network called 727-731-5192. We want to talk to you.
Yes, indeed. We want to talk to you. Yes, indeed. So, yes, you are with us today for Gathering of the Griots. I love today's show. I just love it. It didn't even fully happen yet. It just started. But we are doing something special. You already know. I don't think I could sit down and just do nothing. I got to be creating new experiences and disseminating new information. It's just what I like to do. So today's show, we are going to be focusing on an event that we're not playing with you. We're going to combine some things. Let me show you. This is an event that is taking place on June 15th, baby. It's called Message to Black People. Yes, it is called that. Nice and clear. It doesn't mean no, but you can't come if you're not Black. Nobody said that. But I am a Scientologist. If you know me, you know that. I say it all the time, unapologetically. But it's called Message to Black People because I need for Black people to get this information. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And when I say this information, I'm talking about Scientology because people just don't understand what it is. It's just courses to help you get life better. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But yep, this event, if you need to make this bigger so you can see the font, definitely do that because it's going to be wonderful. So let me just tell you what it says for those listening in the background. Message to Black People by L. Ron Hubbard. This is a Juneteenth Freedom Day celebration in Scientology. Yes, indeed. It's June 15th, 2024, and it's going to be at our new building, baby. What? You never been anyway? Well, you want to see this space because this space was created for our people to prosper in, period. It's at 650 South Clark Street, right in the Loop, right? And when you come, this is what you're going to expect. First of all, the food is going to be slam dunk. What? I think we're having like a garlic, brown sugar chicken. I don't eat chicken, but that's what you're going to have. We're going to have, I think, cabbage, and we're going to have all kind of good food. I'm not telling you no more. Make sure you come because it is free, but that's going to be at 4 p.m. and you're going to get a tour of this beautiful 8-story building. You're going to learn some empowerment tools. I'm going to make sure of it. Yo, we're going to discuss freedom because I think it's so important. Freedom for our people traditionally has been something that we ask somebody for. We're not asking for no freedom because nobody has it, right? And I'm going to help you understand it on a different level. So we're going to discuss the freedom of the past, of course, Juneteenth, right? But then we're going to look at some freedom for the future. We're not here to ask for it. We're here to take it and make it. So we're going to go through that. And yeah, you're going to have a wonderful time that day. And so today's show is about under and overstanding what all of this is about. But what I wanted to do first, because I don't know about you, but I just learned about Juneteenth now, and I'm a cultural girl. And I'm talking about, when I say just learned, I'm talking about, I don't think I knew even before 2 or 3 years ago what Juneteenth really was. I just remember seeing on June 19th, I was on 47th Street coming from a party. Yo, it was fireworks everywhere. And I was like, what is happening right now? I did see an extra amount of like balloons and red, black, and green, but I did not understand. And so what I want to do is I do want to share a little bit about Juneteenth so that we all are on a very clear plane of looking at the freedom that we attained. But I got a better sense from watching this of the reason behind the celebration, because when I just found out about it, I was like, Black people always want to make a reason that go to a barbecue. But I really now understand the importance of the day. So let's take some time and just look at what in fact was Juneteenth and why is it important, and we'll understand why we're doing an event in its light on the 15th. And so, yeah, let's take a look and learn something.
General Order Number 3, the Juneteenth Order.
The people of Texas are informed that, in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves. And the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between an employer and hired labor.
You can imagine the burden lifted from these people, the men, the women, the children that knew that they were chattel, property, and now understanding that they were free. But the question that was lingering was, what did freedom look like?
The slaves built this country.
They had a sense of who they were. They very quickly built a sense of community.
To what degree have we actually achieved the absolute freedom that Juneteenth promised?
Ignoring these painful histories doesn't mean that they don't still influence us.
We stand on the shoulders of those that came before us, and we need to honor their memory by telling their story.
Juneteenth, 1865 to 2021.
Galveston, Texas. place known for tourism and quick getaways. But it's the history which happened here that impacts us all today.
African slaves were brought here on ships in the 1800s. But even after the slave trade ended, slavery here did not.
It was 1865, June 19th, now known as Juneteenth, when Union soldiers arrived and told slaves they were free.
It came 2 years after President Abraham Lincoln announced slavery had ended in the United States.
What if I told you that these weren't real rocks? At Buda, we believe that everyone deserves a yard that they can be proud of. That's why we've created faux stone landscape edging that is flexible, durable, and incredibly lightweight. It's completely DIY.
Ships in the 1800s. But even after the slave trade ended, slavery here did not.
It was 1865, June 19th, now known as Juneteenth, when Union soldiers arrived and told slaves they were free.
It came 2 years after President Abraham Lincoln announced slavery had ended in the United States.
And we should remember this important date, June 19, 1865, represents the evolution of our country to a more perfect union. We were not perfect in 1528. 1619, 1776, 1865, or even the day in 2021, but we're moving, hopefully, to a more perfect union.
Juneteenth is directly related to the history of the Civil War and the emancipation of enslaved people in the Confederacy. Juneteenth is important for Texas because that is when enslaved Texans learned they were free and that the Confederacy had fallen.
So we're standing in the 2200 block of the Strand Historic District in Galveston. This was the heart of the commercial district, and at one time
Was the largest city in Texas.
the largest enslaver also lived here in Galveston. They owned 7 plantations, 4 in Brazoria County, 2 in Matagorda County, and 1 in Fort Bend.
Texas was this safe haven for slavery. They did what they call the running of the slaves. That was basically moving their slaves to Texas because there was no Union presence in Texas.
When Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, he knew that that would not immediately end slavery, and it didn't. And the reason is fairly simple. The Confederate States of America had formed its own country. They elected their own president. Confederate states printed their own money, which is why the Confederacy and the United States went to war. The United States' goal at the beginning of the war was just to restore the Union. The first war goal was not to emancipate the enslaved population.
And there were all these myths and stories about what happened and why it took 2.5 years for the word to reach Texas. Plantation owners in Texas were well aware of the Emancipation Proclamation, but they ignored it. What they cared about was maintaining the agrarian economy in Texas, and that was solidly based on cotton. And to maintain that, they needed slave labor. General Gordon Granger was on his way to Texas. Most of the Texas authorities had a pretty good idea what he was coming to Texas to do. Granger was in Texas for about a month. He sent his troops.
There were white soldiers and black soldiers.
Plantation to plantation, making the announcement.
Those black soldiers are people who especially helped shift the Union war goals from a war to restore the Union into a war of emancipation. It was personal for them.
They went over to the old custom house on 20th Street to the courthouse square, from the courthouse square to the colored church on Broadway, which was Reedy Chuck.
Some of the dock workers were among the first to get the word, and so the celebrations began.
Give us a sense of what it must have been like for slaves on Juneteenth when they heard that message.
You know, that was something that was almost like going to heaven.
The celebrations, just to be so excited to taste that freedom.
The initial celebrations, there would be prayer services looking back at our journey in this country and what we had to endure in bondage. And the people who never lived to see that day I think it's inescapable not to remember those people. Transatlantic voyage, the Middle Passage, people jumping off ships to avoid the treatment that they would have to endure.
And old Marshall didn't tell you, it was free.
He didn't tell you that?
No, he didn't tell you. I think now they said they wait them 6 months out of that. 6 months. And turn them loose on the 19th of June. That's why you celebrate that day. Colorful. Celebrate that day.
That is a video on YouTube called Juneteenth. I'll make sure underneath the post on Facebook and YouTube that's available to you guys, because it's a longer segment and it does go into the celebrations. But this is the thing. Now I get an understanding of why the celebration is necessary and what it meant back then, because you're talking about, slavery was no joke. We talk about it lightly, but anytime people come in to take your babies and feed them to alligators, or strapping pregnant women up in trees and cutting open their stomachs, come on. When you hear that that's over, the celebration, there was no word for it. But the video goes on to talk about some of us didn't leave the plantation. Some of us were scared to even do that, right? But Juneteenth, why did we choose it? Well, we wanted to look at, and when I say we, I'm now talking about Black Scientologists. We wanted to look at a freedom that we know we acquire from studying this technology, this information, right? And not only that, this was something that L. Ron Hubbard, he actually wrote a message specifically to us as a people. So I just want to read it a little. We need to get a little clarity about what this was, right? So if you need to enlarge this page, please do so you can read it. You'll see in the lower right-hand corner, there is a square, and you just click that and it'll expand. But let me read it for you, for those that are listening. This is Message for Black People, and it says, completely aside from what it means to whites, Scientology offers the Black people of America a wonderful chance. The world's primary study of the mind has a long and excellent record of success across the world in improving the opportunities of man. If Scientology were to be used by the Black people of America, the gains for which they have striven so hard in the social world would be guaranteed. You hear that, y'all? Guaranteed. Scientology can increase intelligence, improve personality, and bring personal power and alertness to any person to whom it is applied. It may seem at first a difficult subject, but it is not. It is far easier than common school subjects. Many Black people have already studied it to a professional level. The gates of Scientology are wide open to Black people. A professional Scientologist has more social standing and ability to help than any other professional field. If Black people, even on a part-time basis, studied it and used it upon other Black people, if Black centers were to be set up in America for Black people, the standard of ability, social activity, and intelligence would be increased far beyond any future possible loss. Look into Scientology and use it to help your own people. Let them truly walk in the sun and take their place among the most brilliant people on earth. All right. And so it's saying, yes, we will be the most brilliant people on earth, coupled with anybody else that uses this technology. But one of the things that's so strong to me about this is that L. Ron didn't write message to no other race. Now, does that mean he wasn't for other races? Of course it doesn't mean that. But he specifically, knowing that our people endured what we have endured, and we could smack slavery, colonialism for the rest of the African diaspora, those heinous things done to our people need handling. And my spiritual mama, Mama Love, she's the sister of the author Frances Cress Welsing. She said there has not been a moment in time since slavery where we've had time to heal. And that's a reality, okay? And so I want us to improve who we are, what we are, how we handle ourselves, how we put our ethics in check. I want us to have all of that in place so that we can go ahead and create our future. And so what I want to show you now is just, I want to clear the air about Scientology. And we have our own television network. Boop, 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 boop. So I want you to see David Miscavige, who is the head of Scientology right now, just explain to you what it is so that you can know and sit in this and go forward and learn all that we have on the table. Oh, look, Naima said here, thanks for educating us, Asadah. This is not taught in American schools. Look, it's not only not taught in American schools, it ain't taught in American homes, in Black ones at that. So we got to handle that. So let's share this video with you guys, because like I said, we're going to clear the air about Scientology today. So you can just understand and be like, oh my God, I didn't know that. So let's take a look. Hold on, y'all. I'm working on it. All right, here we go.
Hello and welcome. You've probably heard of Scientology. In fact, every 6 seconds, someone searches the question, what is Scientology? There's a lot of talk about us, and we get it. People are curious. Well, we want to answer your questions because, frankly, whatever you have heard, if you haven't heard it from us, I can assure you we are not what you expect. So, while I could tell you Scientology is new, our approach is new, our answers are new, and that Scientology is not just something you believe in, it's something you do, well, I'm sure you would much rather just see for yourself. And that's what the Scientology Network is all about, to show you inside Scientology, who we are, what Scientology is, and what Scientology can do. Scientology is a dynamic and expanding religion. We're going to be showing you all of it. For instance, I'm standing in our spiritual headquarters, and we'll take you through all of it. Likewise, we'll take you into our churches, spanning 167 countries on 6 continents. We'll also take you behind the scenes and into our church management, publications and dissemination facilities, humanitarian outreach centers and programs, and even into our new millennium Scientology archives. But even still, there remains the question of why so many people are Scientologists and why they are so passionate about it. In answer to that question, you'll meet Scientologists from all walks of life, firefighters to factory workers, doctors to CEOs, and yes, some of the most well-known artists and celebrities in the world. You'll see Scientology in practice, our values and beliefs, our technology of auditing, our e-meter, everything. Finally, we'll answer the question as to how Scientology came to be the only major religion founded in the 20th century. And that's the story of our founder, L. Ron Hubbard, a true-to-life genius and an honest-to-God modern-day Renaissance man. But with all that, let's be clear. We're not here to preach to you, to convince you, or to convert you. No. We simply want to show you. Because, after all, the first principle of Scientology is that it's only true if it is true for you. So take a look, and then decide for yourself. I'm David Miscavige, and this is the Scientology Network.
I see a lot of this, where they put their hands over their eyes and look inside the window, and they're like, what is this?
Once you actually start talking to somebody about it, they're like, just, okay, what is Scientology?
Oh, well, what brought you in here? Just curious.
So what this is called an e-meter. It's the cutting edge of spiritual technology.
What it represents for Scientologists all over the world, always has and always will, is spiritual freedom.
Here at Golden Era Productions, we produce all of the films of Scientology, and we also have one of the largest studios in North America.
What we produce is not just a book, it's not just a lecture, it's all the knowledge that's inside.
When we consulted with the British Museum, the National Archives, we wanted to find out how do the best archivists in the world do things.
The biggest barrier was actually finding technology that would last.
So we had to push technology and invent technology in order to do that.
Scientology Media Productions is a very unique studio. Everything is under one roof. We produce all of the content and programming for the Scientology Network. So we have quite a variety of different shows.
The biggest joy is to create something new. So we create extraordinary solutions for extraordinary spaces.
This is where we have equipment that comes from production. You can create all kinds of special effects.
This is the sexiest bike in the world.
I remember that moment well, not knowing what I want to do.
We just wanted a band that was fun.
Ow!
It's like a feeling of freedom.
I'm a comedian. I am a Scientologist.
I'm a veterinarian.
We are both designers.
I'm a version control engineer. I played 10 seasons in the NFL.
I'm a horse trainer.
With the Jive Aces, I'm a Scientologist.
I grew up right here in South Central, so I've been tied to the streets.
The culture here, it's so rich and so fragile at the same time.
I want Melbourne to be drug-free, crime-free. Just want it to be the ideal city.
Scientology saved my life, and I felt like I was able to give it to somebody else, and it was this domino effect.
People are searching, and this is one of the places they'll come to find answers.
It's actually making a difference in the world. That's what it's all about.
Well, if it's not true for you, it's not true. I find it's a very good statement. It agreed with my own personal philosophy very well, because if there's anybody in the world that's calculated to believe what he wants to believe and to reject what he doesn't want to believe, it is I.
The biggest right there is not the right to vote. Is not the right to freedom of speech or press or religion or anything else. The biggest right there is in human rights is the right to help.
Well, it's now time for a peace movement. It's now time to call everybody under this movement.
The cure for our children, as far as their education, is to make them quiet. So this is tragic. That's why we're out there educating, being the voice for those who don't have a voice.
To see the impact you can have on others and how you can get others to change.
It allows me to know that I'm not the only one out on this battlefield fighting this battle.
I would just say to anybody, if you're going to do something, if you're really going to do something, go educate yourself on it beforehand.
Get the facts, check the statistics.
Find out the actual truth of what these are and what they're going to do to your life.
Find out for yourself.
This is the story about human rights. For those who don't know, you need to. These you gotta learn forever and ever. Know your human rights, don't ever surrender.
Hello and welcome once again to Freedom TV.
Today we're going to take you inside the dark world of human trafficking.
And I'll warn you up front, this is some pretty sickening stuff.
It became a tipping point, and that's why we knew we had to get out and do something about it.
There's nothing really much more fulfilling than helping people.
That's our passion.
One person that you help turns into 3 people, turns into 10, turns into a whole city.
That's why we're out there fighting until every single person is free.
I love it. That's what I'm talking about. Get some clarity, my darlings, for those of you who weren't able to see everything. Look, I'll be telling people, I don't really get people talking to me negatively about Scientology because I just don't. If you're positive and certain, people don't bring the noise, right? But I'll be telling, if they're going to bring something to me, I'll be like, look, what? No shade, but what you got, a church bus? We got a church ship. Shh, be quiet. The ship is all that. It is a cruise ship where we go and do more courses in self-development. But don't listen to me only. There's so many people that are Scientologists. You walking by them every day. I promise you. But what I'm going to do today is bring on one of the sisters. She a veteran in Scientology. She's been here with us before on a different subject, but I'm bringing her to the stage now because I love her. And she shares some wonderful stories about Scientology and the freedom it's brought her just using the text. So let me bring on my girl, Janice King. Hey, Janice. I can hear, you can't hear me? Oh my gosh. Let me see if y'all, I think others can hear me. Hold on. Y'all better let me know if y'all can't hear me. But Janice, why don't you try talking? And in the meantime, let me hear you talk. Because let me see. I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Oh Lord, hold on, y'all. We can work it out because I don't know why she cannot hear me. Hold on. So let's just get up a little something while we get this fixed up because she's important. Hold on. Now, yeah. So if I need to know if others can't hear me, because then that means I need to fix something. Okay, others can hear me. I'm gonna see if I can give Janice a message to let her know that we'll fix the sound. But in the meantime, while we're getting that together, we're just going to take a little commercial break. I know it's video heavy today, and then we'll be back after these messages.
And Anase went back to the village with the golden box. He set the golden box and gathered the children as you are gathered now. He opened that box and stories just rushed out of the box.
This is why we are here, because of these people right here. Give it up for the young people today, baby. Give it up better than that, adults. Tell us, adults.
Hi, I'm Lauren Cress Love. I'm the sister of the late Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, author of the ISIS Papers and the Cress Theory on Color Confrontation. We're Chicago natives, and to honor her legacy, I'll have her books at the Soulful Chicago Book Fair, Saturday, July 16th, 2016. Be there.
Black Fairy is in this book. Young John Henry, everyone's familiar with the young John Henry, and Deadwood Dick, who's a black cowboy. So these are three plays that are in this book, which has been used by a lot of groups, universities that have produced plays for children.
Hey, Black Child by Usaini Perkins. Hey, Black Child, do you know who you are?
Hi, I'm Joyce Clark. I'm 92 years old, and I have written books for Black girls so that they know how important they are and they learn the mystery to their history. I'm going to be at the Soulful Chicago Book Fair, and I want to see you there.
Saturday, August 3rd, 2019.
All right. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, and if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody. Friends, neighbors, family members, co-workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, childcare services, whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money.
All right, there we have it. While your business is making you money. So people can advertise here on the Female Solution. The Female Solution has 7 days a week that it operates. And so you can have an ad on this and be seen globally. People can buy your products. It doesn't matter what it is. You could be running for office, all kind of stuff. I think y'all better check your own rules on that one. But yep, you can be an author or whatever you want and be on the Female Solution. And so I'm gonna see what my girl, because I know I can hear her, but she can't hear me. Hold on, let me try again. Let me see something. Can you hear me?
I hear you now. Good morning. All right.
Got to do.
That's right.
How,
listen.
What's
this
up?
Physical universe is something else, but I conquered it. Yes.
Let me tell y'all heard what she said, right? She said this physical universe is something, but I conquered it. So this is what I'm saying to you all. When you're rocking with a Scientologist, oh, we are dealing with the world in a different way. Like I tell people, I don't adjust to the environment. I adjust the environment to me.
Absolutely.
But, and so here, you know, when you got powerful things happen, some of y'all out there like to say stuff like, the devil gonna try to get you, you know, that's the devil trying to stop, you know. I don't get into all that. We spiritual beings in a physical world. And so when you got two powerhouses getting on, like right now, Janet's and Asadah, that physical universe gonna be like, no, don't let them on. And so, you know, they try to mess with the volume, this and that. But like Janice just said, I'll push through that now.
Absolutely, girl. Yes.
So welcome, my darling. I'm so glad you're on because, oh my God, y'all, I admire this sister for a ton of reasons. But can you please just let everyone know just a little bit about you? How long have you been in Scientology? Maybe how you got here and why you're still here. Come on with it.
Okay. Good morning, Asadah, and I thank you so much for having me on. Good morning, everyone. My name is Janice King. I am a self-taught visual artist. I paint in acrylic on canvas, and in addition to that, I create wearable art from my original painted designs. Plus, I have a wearable art design clothing line for women, and it is currently in a boutique called Morgan's of Delaware here in Wilmington, Delaware. So in saying that, I have been in Scientology for about a little over 30 years. What brought me there was that years ago, I was looking for something. I was searching for myself and my soul and my purpose. And I had read a lot of books. And in the reading of the books, I came across Dianetics. And when I saw it talked about the mind and how the mind can make you do things and just be unaware, that was the answer for me. And I went into the org. So I have been there since the late 90s. And I am still here because with Scientology, and Scientology means the study of knowledge. It's knowing who you are, knowing yourself, knowing how to know. And I have learned with the technology by L. Ron Hubbard how to know. I have learned who I am. You know, when we're born, we know who we are. We really know who we are. But however, through environmental factors, we sometimes lose that. And I had lost that. I knew I was a creative, artistic, fun-loving, excitement-seeking person. But again, through environmental factors, I did lose that. and I was searching for who I was. And I am Janice King, the creative. I thank you.
So now, my question to you, I had a litany of questions there, but another question I have is, when we talking about freedom, because we're going to be having this Juneteenth event on the 15th, and for those of you who didn't get to see it, I'll put it back up so you can see it. Let me put it back up a little bit. Hold on. Add to the stage now. So there it is, guys. It's June 15th. It's a Juneteenth celebration in Scientology. And it's a reason, and that's why I have on Black Scientologists today. So you can hear what freedom we talking about. So Janice, I want you to just let the audience know, what kind of freedom have you attained from applying Scientology to your life? Because I know, we don't come to Scientology like, I need some freedom. I need freedom. Like, we're not doing that, right? But that is something you keep hearing people say. Even the video I just showed, people was like, it's like a certain type of freedom. Can you just explain that? Like, what kind of freedom came to you in your life using the tech?
In my life using the tech, I have learned over the years, it didn't come right away. But once you know who you are, that you're a spiritual being, for me, my soul became alive. I realized, I had realizations about life. So that was a freedom for me, knowing that, okay, Janice, you can reclaim what you intrinsically know. You can reclaim it and set it forth. So that was a freedom for me. It was also a freedom for me to know that I can accomplish anything that I want. And that in itself is a freedom. Yes, we have this planet that we're on. There are rules that have been generated. There have been proclamations. There have been laws. However, and even with that, there is so much unrest. But within oneself, like myself, I've learned and gained the freedom to be me, to operate in a sense that I know is best for me. And there's still more to come.
And there's still more to come, you guys. And so, see, there's a sense of freedom in the Scientology world that I know people aren't really clear on. And so I'm gonna share some of these definitions, because we need to know this. And I'm gonna share one of the things you learn in Scientology, your vocabulary increases. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
And when your vocabulary increases, now you're talking about your ability to read things you couldn't read before and understand on a whole other level, right? And understand on a different level. Even your painting. When did you start painting? What year did you become a painter?
I emerged as a self-taught artist, painter, at the age of 60. That was about 7 years ago. So for 60 years, I had that within me. I was very creative throughout those years, but not really flourishing or not being able to flourish in the realm that I was operating in. I'm operating in a different realm now. So, and as Asadah said, you gain a new sense of vocabulary because you learn how to learn. You learn how to read, how to clear words. That means look them up, define the definition, define the meaning, use those words in sentences, make sure you understand the word as it's used in the context that you're reading. And that increases your ability. You can really learn and understand anything in life.
Absolutely. Let me show this doggone definition of freedom. So it's going to cover us, but y'all going to still hear us. Look at this definition. Let me even move your name for a minute. Now, freedom. We have a tech dictionary, and these are some of the definitions of freedom. Number 1, lots of space and the ability to use it. Okay. Number 2, ability to create and position energy or matter in time and space. Y'all ain't ready for all that. The ability to create and position energy or matter in time and space. I'm gonna give you an example of that in a minute. And then lots of space and the ability to use it. Okay. Now, guys, and if you want to call in, guys, if you want to say, wait a minute, I got to talk to y'all. I'm going to put the number at the bottom. You see it, 727-731-5192. And we'll bring you on and have you just come on to the discussion. Now, lots of space and the ability to use it. Freedom. I had a sister the other day say, I got 8 acres over in blah, blah, blah. That's right. We used to have a lot of land as a people. And when you got a lot of land, you can do what you want on it. That's what that's talking about. Freedom, lots of space and the ability to use it. Next, ability to create and position energy or matter in space and time. I didn't have a book fair at once upon a time, but one day I just decided to do it, and I just taught myself how to get the tables, get the chairs, get the authors, get the applications to join. It was just, I created it. I manipulated matter in time and space to make the book fair, and then boom, it was done. And that's a level of freedom when you could just create. Be godlike, creator. All you got to do to be godlike is create. That's a creator. And then lots of space and the ability to use it. That's the freedom. These are the new definitions of freedom that are important for us to bring to the table, so that people, you create your own. We're not here to ask for freedom anymore, guys. Nobody has it. We're here to create it ourselves. And so which of those would you say kind of exemplify who you are and what you've done? Because Janice, personally, the clothing you make and the art you do is stellar. And it's so like, you step in a room and it's like, dang, what she got on? Where you get that? But it's like the fact that you made it yourself, the freedom in that, the freedom in creating it. Can you describe which of those definitions, if any, just like exemplify what you've done with this part of your life? And by the way, 60, what? You said 60 was 7 years ago. You look fine as wine, girl.
Okay, cool. Yes. Well, I will say each of those definitions, all of those definitions describe me and what I feel. Because the matter is that freedom, is having lots of space. Sometimes I felt years ago closed in. Even though I had space, it was really not enough. And your soul, your spirit needs space also. Not that you have a whole lot of space around you, which is good, but you have to feel comfortable in that space. And I came to the point where I felt comfortable. Years ago, I did not feel important at all. And I'm just going to bring up something. There are certain activities that we do and practicals, things that we practice in Scientology. And one of the things that I encountered was the survival rundown. Prior to that, I did life repair. And it was during life repair that I realized, hey, I'm important, I'm important. I did not own that prior to that. But through the processes, through the activities, through the practices, I've realized that I'm important. And Scientology teaches you that. Sometimes people don't know that. Or they may know it, but for me, I had lost it, and then I regained it. So freedom for me is having lots of space, creating, using my abilities through time, and energy, and I can create. I feel the freedom to do that. It like exudes from my body. Yes. And I'm really proud of myself. You know, my late mother would be proud of me. Also, I know she's proud of me because she was very creative. However, she did not allow herself to flourish in that creativity. The difference is that, Mom, I love you always, and I'm allowing myself to flourish in the creativity. And I'm excited. I'm happy. I am rejoicing. You know, Juneteenth, as Asadah said, hey, it's a celebration for all of us, for the freedom of our people, or the so-called freedom of our people. You know, June 19th, 1865 is when it was enacted. June and the 19th combined made Juneteenth. And it's coming up. My eldest son was born on June 19th.
Wow.
So, yes. So you talk about freedom.
Freedom. Baby, that's another level. Just brings a whole nother significance.
Absolutely.
To
Absolutely.
The Juneteenth, baby. I really appreciate you giving such simplistic explanations of how you've applied Scientology. And I know you all listening can relate. I know you can relate because look, we ain't looking crazy. We looking like two regular Black women, natural, doing the thing. But we are using this to enhance ourselves. I went to college. Absolutely. But I'm gonna tell you right now, all that money I gave them, I'm not using that knowledge because it wasn't designed for me to necessarily use it. It was just to regurgitate some data and have me get that paper. But with Scientology, baby, when I found it, I've been in a little over 20 years, maybe like 22 years or so. But I raised my daughter 20, so I raised my daughter in Scientology. And so the sanity that I used, and even who I am, I told people, you like me because I'm a Scientologist. I'm trying to tell you that right now. I wasn't mean, but I just didn't really care about you and what you talking about. What? Get out of here. But now I have a better tolerance because I took the course, how to improve relationships with others.
Yes.
Baby, my accord was low. Like how my relating to people was low. We got a comment here. It says, oh yeah, Naima says, thank you for the true definitions of freedom. People who think freedom comes from someone other than themselves remain in mental bondage, baby.
So true. That is so true. You know, freedom is within yourself. It comes from within you. You have to know it. You have to feel it. You have to sense it. You have to live it, you know. And until you do that, you know, what kind of life are you going to have?
What kind of life, baby? What kind of life? And I think as Black people, I think we are so accustomed to having someone else be an authority. We teach our children how to take authority, but we don't teach them how to be authorities, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And this type of thinking requires you be an authority for yourself. You understand? So yeah, you gotta be an authority in terms of your universe and your place in the world. And so that's really what this is about to me. This is about us exemplifying that. This Juneteenth celebration that's coming up. I know, look, Janice in Delaware, but if she wasn't, baby, I know she would be there.
Yes.
Big time. But it's to create more of this, to create more Janices that have this ability in your spirit, but you just don't know how to get it out. Our families may not have fostered it and said, you're good. Well done.
Right.
We didn't do that. We just said, get your butt out of here. You get on my nerves.
Yes.
All of that, which is stifling and suppressing. And so we learn how to get rid of it. Any last minute before we go to a commercial break, knowledge, wisdom you want to give the audience that's watching your beautiful self?
Yes, what I would say is based on the words you use, stifling and suppressing. Stifled and suppressed is what I was for years. I'm not blaming anyone, you know, but hey, I'm owning myself and knowing the state or condition that I was in. You know, everyone is in a particular condition. And until you find that out, you'll be floundering. So I knew that I was in a stifled and suppressive condition. So again, Scientology is the study of knowledge, knowing who you are. There are practices, things you can do, what you can learn, how to live your life in a better condition. And Asadah, I thank you for having me on today. Peace, love to you and everyone else.
Yo, thank you so much, sis. You guys, if we had an applause, we would go, woo, woo, yeah.
Hercules.
Hercules. I always say that. I say that. But thank you, baby, so much for being here and for showing our listening audience, our watching audience, the simplicity of being a Black Scientologist. We running this and we're doing this.
Before we go, L. Ron Hubbard wrote a message for Black people.
I read it.
Yeah, oh, you read it. Excellent.
Baby, I showed it and I read it.
Okay, cool. Because I had it right here.
That's right. That's right. I put it up on the screen, baby. And people who come to our event will get copies of it. We'll make sure of it. So we're having them specially made. So thank you so much, Janice. Excellent. I love you tremendously. And let's continue to flourish and prosper.
Absolutely. That's our aim.
That's our aim. Yes. We're going to a commercial break, guys, but we'll be back with more fly Black Scientologists and brothers and sisters that are flourishing using it. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages.
Have a great day.
You too. Peace.
Peace.
Soulful Chicago book fairs are the most exciting Black book fairs on the planet. Born in July of 2016, Soulful Chicago book fairs have both increased the literary marketplace for Black writers and given lovers of Black literature places to find books about the Black experience the world over. The main summer book fair stretches 4 city blocks on 61st Street between Cottage Grove and King Drive. Each block is characterized by its own genre, donning the works of fiction authors, nonfiction authors, and children's authors. How it's gonna be. The day begins with a procession of elders atop a float, demonstrating the book fair's honoring of community elders. The entertainment of the Soulful Chicago Book Fair has been second to none. Audiences travel to its Grammy-level stage, which has featured musical artists such as Eric Roberson, King, and many of Chicago's multicultural talents. The book fair's community stage sits equidistant from either end and showcases puppet shows, open mic sessions, and author talks for festival goers to enjoy.
That bought homes or provide an economic foundation.
Aspiring authors have enjoyed the Soulful Chicago Book Fair's lineup of helpful workshops on publishing, writing for children, and legalities of the publishing industry and more. From its exhibitors to its entertainment, its workshops to its overall power, soulful Chicago book fairs will continue to breathe literary life and prosperity into the South Side of Chicago for decades to come.
How it's gonna be. So much to see.
Hey guys, what's going on? Name is Eno Aquino here. We are on the book fair representing Dianetics, showing people, one, how help them identify the areas that's causing the most stress in their life using this equipment right here called an e-meter. On top of that as well, we're addressing Scientology and Dianetics as well. With Dianetics, you have this right here, over 20 million books sold. Not only that, this is the best-selling book about the mind, and it helps you, right, address to not have any kind of irrational behaviors, all those unwanted feelings and thoughts, negative thoughts, depression, right, and use Dianetics to help you get rid of their reactive mind. Wait for you that you can get a hold of us. We are actually located in Printers Row 650 South Clark, so where you can get the book with us. Also, you may go to Scientology.org and get the book as well. Okay, thank you very much.
That's what I'm talking about. Freedom. That's my book fair. I could have Dianetics up in there. Nobody can tell me we don't want Dianetics and Scientology. Freedom. Space and the ability to use it. Nobody can stop you. I teach my daughter. Nobody tells you no. She was raised. Who telling you no? If you want it, get it. Period. Nobody stops you. And so my next guest, this brother just boom, 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 boom. You talking about spreading the tech throughout our people. First of all, with the coming of the Nation of Islam to the table and studying Dianetics and Scientology, it has taken this into our community with an ease. And so I am going to bring on this brother because he's the bomb. Hey, Brother Scott.
Peace, Sister Asadah. How you doing this morning?
Look, I want to say your saying. Tell me what you say when I say how you doing. Tell them what you say.
It's sticking and jabbing, ducking and dodging, bobbing and weaving.
That's what he say when I talk to him. So thank you for being on today, brother, because I think it is so important for our people to see how we're applying this technology.
Mm-hmm.
I need us to stop being scared. Don't be scared of something you don't know. You ain't never touched Scientology. Well, if somebody upset, they say, have you taken the courses before? Well, no, because that right then, me and you, we different, because I go based on what I observe and what I experience, not based on hearsay. So, Brother Scott,
yes, ma'am.
Man, how did you come about Scientology? And I'm gonna ask other questions. How'd you come about it? And then you disseminate well. I'm gonna show some images, but tell us a little bit about why you use it.
Well, I came into learning how to deal with the tech from a brother, Robin 3X. And he was down south. He was working in Birmingham, Alabama. But when Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan opened the door and recommended this tech to us for our use and for use in our communities, Brother Robin went all over the place introducing it. I was on a camping excursion a few days ago, maybe a week ago, and I met a brother who was in jail. And Brother Robin was part of the prison ministry. And he got introduced to the tech while he was locked up. So he had the teachings of Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And while he was locked up, he did all 19 basic books. Right? He came out like boom.
Bang.
And I mean, the brother, just tore out of the jail, and he's successful. He has a beautiful wife, started a family, and was part of organizing, this camping excursion where we did, emergency response team training and stuff like that. So Brother Robin, that's what I'm getting to. That's who introduced us to the tech.
That's amazing and beautiful. And then, so once you got it, what'd you get? Like, what did it create in your actuality that made you now push it out to the rest of the world?
Well, when the minister endorsed it, when he said, "Hey, look, I found something that could help you," that alone for me, I was like, okay, it's something to this. So I'm going to find out what it is. Mm-hmm. And when I read Dianetics, the Modern Science of Mental Health, it was just like, oh, wow. And when I took the course, I just completed it. And when I completed that course, like through the process of completing it, it changed the way I look at people, like how I see their behaviors in the community. There's less judgment because I have scientific language that I can like look at and understand what I'm seeing. It's like, oh, that's why this boy is doing that. Because you see things that are just, over the top. And it's like, man, what is wrong with us?
Right.
But that don't have to be a rhetorical question. We can answer exactly what's wrong, not just with us as a group, with each individual inside the group. Mm-hmm. And so, like, when I saw this tech and started reading it, it was like, whoa, wait a minute. There's some range here. There's some possibilities here. Some people that, when, I work with mothers of murder victims. Okay. And when you're dealing with a mom who has buried a child, we planted fruit trees. Davion Tarver was 4 years old, I beg your pardon. And little Cupcake McKinney was 3. How do you console a mom like that? And it's like, nah. And it used to be you just knew they were going to carry something from now on. But with Dianetics, we started auditing the mothers. And, in Dianetics, it'd be a secondary lock, and we went in, started popping those locks. And I actually got an award because we had a mother who couldn't walk. And she sat with a young woman named Patricia Muhammad. Patricia audited Miss Crenshaw, I think 5 hours straight. And Miss Crenshaw left her walker at the center that we did the event in. She in Houston now, moved to be next to her grandchildren. She said, Scott, they pulled me off of 4 of my 7 medications today. We audited her Saturday, and she had a light session Sunday. Monday, she got pulled off of 4 of her 7 medications. Living her best life.
Living the best life.
So that's, for me, I've been doing this a long time, to have something that actually can lift some of the burden off of these moms. Mm-hmm. That if it didn't do nothing else but that,
whoa,
it's worth its weight in gold because of the trauma we got in our community.
Sure. Y'all now, so y'all healer in it. See, Black people been healers, but we done forgot some things. One of the things that L. Ron Hubbard says is, if you see a problem, look at what you didn't do and know why it's a problem. Okay. And so now you got a different level of responsibility on the table, guys. But that's what Scientology does and Dianetics does. It helps us tool up, get that arsenal tight so we can get back to being healers, because we're in a different environment. When we used to heal and just go outside and grab the root and put it in the cup and do that, it's concrete outside. I'm from New York now.
Yes.
So the healing process is different because now we got televisions and we have waves that we can't see that are impacting our purity, our health, so we need different tools. And that's what Scientology and Dianetics is providing, guys. It's providing tools. We got a comment here. Oh, let's look at this. From Talis Farrow McArthur says, praise God. Good morning. Sister, thankful for the knowledge, teaching, and sharing your wisdom. Peace, love, and abundant blessings. Ooh, 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 ooh. Bam, 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 bam. What? I don't care about no negativity out there. We have our own power. And what we got to do is, there's a look, A&J on fire. He put on fire. Thank you so much, Talis Farrow, no doubt. So, we not only now have this tech and can use it, but it's so gentle and soft. It's not hard. It's not like college. It's not like you got to memorize things. And nope, you're going to deal with yourself. And I got a little something. I want to show the event because we're having this talk with Black Scientologists today, guys, because of this event right here. Period, point blank. Message to Black people based on L. Ron Hubbard's written message to our people, right? I read it earlier in the broadcast, but this is going to be June 15th. What? We getting it in that day. If you ain't know about Scientology, and you especially didn't know about Black people in Scientology, you're going to come there that day and feel rejoice. Like you're going to want to rejoice based on what you experience. But let me show y'all a little something that Brother Scott doesn't know that I have. Watch this. I got something for him. This brother, this is what he does. He brings the people. Now he brought a sister, Nina, and a husband, and his friend, and his wife, and his children. Talk about why you brought them to Chicago's Church of Scientology. Why did you do that?
These are people that I've known most or all of my life, and I was visiting home, and I wanted to get them something that I knew would be helpful to them, right? Something that would really be helpful to them. So things along the lines of life improvement, healing the spirit, really, rehabilitating, the authentic beingness in people, so because I love them, and these like cousins and best friends and all that, it's like, what can I give you? What gift can I give you? So I invited them up to the org, because I know what it will do for them in particular.
He gonna say, look, y'all, I had to write it down. He gonna say, I needed to rehabilitate the authentic being. Whoa!
Yes, ma'am.
Do y'all understand that? Rehabilitating the authentic being. Now, you hear us say a lot of things in life that we want for our people. We want justice. No justice, no peace. Whatever we be talking about. No. We're going to take this on a spiritual. We need to rehabilitate. Because Black people are the most spiritual people on the planet. I'm unapologetic about that.
Yes.
Now, and if you have any question, if you're in Scientology, go talk to the big dogs. Talk to David Miscavige about it. Let me tell you, he came to the org. The org guy, when y'all hear us say the org, that stands for organization. That's our churches, right? So David Miscavige, who's the head of Scientology right now, who was at Chicago when at our org when we opened up in March. So we were up late and he was there shaking hands with us and stuff. Baby, when he got to the Black girls at the end of the line, me and my girl Khadijah, he did not take his hand and go like this. He grabbed our hand and pulled in that shoulder. Boom. He pulled it in like a brother would. I said, ooh. That was such granting beingness because he understood we needed a different greeting. We deserved a different connection because that's how we do, and it just showed me how on point he was for valuing that. It wasn't about us shifting and being like, hello, sir, thank you very much for coming.
Right.
He was like, nah, come here, boo. And everybody was like, Dave Miscavige hugged you. Shh. I'm one of them melanated ones, kid. This is what we do. We hear L. Ron Hubbard said, and this is my words, but he said, when the deal goes down, basically in the world, the safest place to go to is South Africa. So we're going to find that exact reference so y'all can look it up, and then I'm going to post it because there's a knowingness about who we are as a people. The only people who don't know our power is us.
Right.
We don't know our own power. And so, your images and you bringing people. Check him out, y'all. Just check out the brother. Let me show you. Let me just show you how he roll. Wait a minute. What? In front of the room. He's schooling them what? Brother Scott was schooling them on now. It looks like we have a caller, and if we have a caller, I want you to speak, but if not, you don't have to. But your number is 706-202. If you want to speak, this is your time. You can just say your name and where you're from and speak on. And if I don't hear you, I'm gonna just keep going. Oh, hold on, hold up. I can't hear you, but I'm gonna hear you. Hold on. There you go. Go ahead, brother. Speak again.
Grand Rising. This is Kwame Sunhorse. I sit here in the stolen lands of the Muskogee Creek Nation in Eaton, Georgia. And, you're speaking on Scientology, and I remember when that was the popular book back in the late 70s when L. Ron Hubbard put it out, and we were gravitated to it because we were seeking, new ways and new knowledge. And in the time that it's manifested and grown into what it is now, the tools in which it uses are the knowledge. The word science in its essence means knowledge. And what is the knowledge that we need in order to grow and change this mental destruction that's happening on this turtle island? Chicago is famous for one great brother there. There are many great brothers there and sisters that there in Chicago, but Bobby E. Wright, and he created the concept of menticide in his book, The Racial Psychopath. And so what we're looking at is tools in which to help to not start a revolution, but to start a resolution. How do we begin to undo this menticide that has been placed upon us as a people? And these are just, Scientology is one, and there are many others, that have been written as far as dealing with our mental. Naeem Akbar, black psychologist, even the whole form of APSI is because there is a lot of damage that has been done mentally to the mind. And what we're looking at is how do we recover the spirit, because we say spirit, mind, body, because we first have to recover the spirit. And what is the knowledge in which we're needing to reconnect the spirit and the mind? And those are the tools that, are some of the ways in which Scientology helps to bring that forth. Because the creators of the Scientology, when you look deep into it, you'll find that it's ancestral to our people.
Of course.
Right. So what we're doing is we're just getting back that which was taken. And so it's time to, not a revolution, the resolution. And how do we begin to help heal ourselves? Because all of these frequencies, yesterday was a very important alignment. It was called a parade. That's when 6 planets were in perfect alignment with the Earth. And these are ways in which, as above, so below, that we get the necessary frequencies from all 6 of those planets and the energies that have been, the cicadas are waking up there. And so all of these frequencies are now here to help recalibrate our thoughts. Because it begins with a thought. A thought is faster than light. And how we're able to change these thoughts in order to change becoming that which we were created to be. Being and becoming is part of our existence. We come with purpose.
Absolutely.
And thank the brother for, sharing the knowledge and bringing forth it. But it's another tool that we need to help to bring us into wholeness.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, brother. This is what people don't know, is that we have all of these spirits walking around, passing us in the street that have this level of knowledge, including yourself. One of the things that L. Ron Hubbard said that is similar to what you said, he said, Scientology is not here to help you learn anything new. He said it's here to help you remember what you chose to forget. Period. And so when you talk about our people, yo, we know what's up. We the people that see the star with our naked eye that you got to use a telescope for. Period. That's the doggone, right? But we our melanated selves with such an asset to the planet. People can't understand why they got to copy us, why they got to take us, or why they can't understand it. But it's because we the melanated kids, and there's a certain substance in us that makes us close to God. It's just that simple. Black matter, like space. So thank you, brother, for being here. I appreciate you for listening in, because you're another addition to the solution. Like you said, not a revolution, but a resolution. I love that. Thank you, brother. Peace. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, y'all. So check it. This brother Scott right here, and I'm going to show you another image. I want you to just talk about, you came to the org and you was teaching them specifically, you wanted them to learn about self-analysis. That is a book written about y'all, self-analysis. So explain that a little bit, because that's what you were getting into at that point that we're looking at.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Well, actually, at this last excursion I went to, I also did a piece on self-analysis. If I can, I'm a farmer, and I was invited, I think in 2018, something like that, somewhere up in there, to the Northeast Organic Farmers Association conference up in Massachusetts. And I did my workshop and everything. And towards the end of the night, they lost their keynote speaker. So they asked me if I would keynote. And like, I didn't come prepared to keynote. I was doing my workshop. My workshop was done, right? But I decided to go ahead and talk to them. And what I talked to them about was the state, like all the farmers, the people who are growing your food, they know that it's a big thing happening right now, and that our food system is in a lot of trouble. That's stating it nicely. So as I was talking to them, I was pointing out that I know that a lot of them, because that year, gun sales went through the roof, the weight on bullets and everything. And I told them, I said, well, I know why you stocking those weapons in your house. You're stocking them up because you think that when the economy barrels out, that my sons are going to jump your fence to try to get some of your food. I said, but that's not the real enemy. And I asked him, I said, I want you to take a picture in your mind. I want you to just think this through. Imagine, the power's out, no internet, no television, no lights, and it's chaos outside. And you're sitting in the house with your wife and your children. And this is week 2, right? You ran out of weed, wine, and Xannies. How long is it going to be before you kill your wife and your children? I asked him that. That was my keynote address. And there's about 300 people in the room, mostly Caucasian. It took me an hour to get back to my seat. It was a line, and people were crying, because it hit them. So one of the things I teach with self-analysis is how to straight wire a person. When a person is just aping out, like when we get to a scene, here's a mother, son's in the ambulance, dead. She can't even, she gone. You can do a locational where you like ground the person back in present time, and you can do straight wiring, where you get the person's attention off of the event and put them somewhere else, just with their straight memory, no hypnosis or anything like that, straight memory. You looking at pleasure moments and things like that to get that person back in their own body, in their own space. Because a lot of people, like one mother, she described it to me. She said, when they called and said that my son was gone, she said, I literally left my body. Right. So this is how you bring them back to their bodies and bring them back to present time. So I use it as crisis management, emergency response, and disaster preparedness. So with what I see coming, and I'm dealing with the people that I love, from birth on, It's like, look, put this tool in your belt. You can use this. You ain't got to go to school 4 years to get it. You can be absolutely certain of what you're doing and how you're doing it. You know what I mean? You can actually learn a skill, you know, that is as certain as you putting screws in some drywall. It's that certain. You know, you can lift stuff off of people and help them to function better. You know, and if you're going to be, you know, we in situations when you look at the weather, where sometimes power's out for a week. That was in Houston just now. We do disaster first responders training and stuff. You know, if you in the house 3-4 days and you got children and it's hot and you can't cook and you know it's all that's going on, how do you keep from hurting your children? They get on your nerves. Because you know what the culture we come out of say, oh, the child is on your nerves, really. See, he's acting up. He on your nerves, beat him. You know what I mean? Right. And you don't, it's like, no, hold on. There's actually a better way. You don't have to, you know, get worried that I'm gonna take your belt away. You keep your belt and put it in a glass case to say in case of emergency break. Okay, do that. But let me give you this tool that will allow you to handle your child lovingly and with great certainty, like just the confidence, oh, this will work.
That's right.
And it does work. And I don't care how far out you get. I understand. Listen, now, you know, look at this. Thank you. Now look at that. And you see the child come back around. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. It gives us so many tools.
That's right.
It gives us so many tools. And you can be happier because you ain't harmed nobody. You ain't harmed nobody. All you have done is help a person. And you can see them go from A to B like clockwork. You can take them A through F, but you're going to go A, B, C, D, E, and you're going to arrive at F. And you're going to say, okay, they cool at F. They can level off.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
yes.
You see the person, you know, coming back to self, and now they thinking reasonably. Now they're trying to reason with all of the things. Okay, well, I know I got to do this. Okay, got that. Now listen, you go and you do this, then you see them taking control of the scene, and they start setting the other people, you know, in motion. You know, like when you come to a scene where unfortunate tragedy has happened and mom's trying to get it together, or dad, you know, because handling dad's a little different than handling mom at these scenes. You know what I mean? Because dad is like, okay, everybody dying tonight. You know what I mean?
God.
Right. You know, it's like we had a young man at the university, he's a football player. And, you know, it's like you have to have something. You want to show up with something. I don't want to just give you sweet words or try to, nope, I'm done with all that. Like, how do we handle this? And
Absolutely.
Those are the two. Self-analysis is my favorite book because it's easy. You know, when you start reading it, and it tapped right into all of the fundamental spaces, you know, of like, what is this? Where we at? You know, what's going on? Why are we doing what we doing?
Yes.
You know, and then it just take you through these lists. My favorite on there is the invalidation section, where he lays out what invalidation is.
Okay.
And like any good science, you know, it have words that gives you like it gives me the knowledge of when I'm using invalidation language. I work with children, and I have a son and who's just brilliant, daughter, brilliant. And it's like, I don't want to invalidate them. When I was coming up, I went to we moved from my neighborhood. We used to live in Harvey. And I used to go to a school in Harvey called Whittier. It was all black. We moved way out to University Park. It was Park 4 South then. I went to Balmoral. I was one of 2 black boys in the entire 4th grade.
Okay.
And I'm deep brown. Just imagine all those white women teachers who didn't have the tech. And they saw me. And now I'm competing with their sons and daughters.
Right.
I'm doing quite well, thank you.
That's right.
So they start chopping me down. And see, that stuff go in because I was a child, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade. That goes in. Then now here I am with the children in my farm school. What happens when I'm having a low day? Then here come this woman who's feeling some in. And I'm chopping down another little black boy who was just like me. I'm carrying her around in my cells. That's why I went to get audited, so that I wouldn't be carrying people like this around in my cells.
I know that's
keeping them alive.
I know that's right.
No, go ahead and go. Bye. Bye. Go on and go.
Right.
Yeah. So, I want to be able to be the activity of healing.
Yes.
In every environment I'm in.
Man.
That's what's required for us.
We
need to be healed. Right? We got all this trauma. It's in our music. So instead of singing songs like they sing in other cultures, it's they killed my brother song. You know what I mean? It's all it's following that trajectory. So with all this trauma,
right,
we need specific healing, and we deserve it. And those of us who get this knowledge, man, get out there and heal your people. I mean, for real. If you got this knowledge,
right,
you ain't got to argue with nobody. It's a lot of people, Sister Asadah, that probably, you using God. I had somebody tell you using Scientology. You know who L. Ron Hubbard is? And the mother said, I'm gonna tell you like the blind man said. All I know is where once I was down, right now I'm up. And I told him, leave her be, man.
That's right.
Leave her be.
That's right.
And everybody, if you got this knowledge, you know how to blow locks. You know how to lock scan. you for real? Man, go see your mama. Relieve her of some of the stress you put her under. You know what I'm saying? Go see her. Go see your grandmama.
Yes.
Grandmama lifts stress off everybody.
Nice.
Go lift stress off grandma.
Yes.
Whoever. The little brother on the block that just real casually, just engage him. If you lift this stuff and stick, like when you lift a lock off somebody, there's somebody in there that knows it because it was an acknowledgement somewhere. That's how the lock lifted. That was an agreement, right? So if you do that with the little brother, you have made a friend. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be scared of them. They need you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yo,
do y'all hear this? Look, I could stay all day and do this. Look, Brother Scott, let me say this. Thank you so much for choosing to be a healer in the community.
Praises be to Allah.
Because it's a choice. You understand? People, we out there turning the other cheek. No, you turning the blinders so you don't see.
Say that.
So that you don't assume the responsibility of healing our community. Stop it. And stop looking to things. You can't go to people who've been trying to kill you to try to save you. It don't work like that. So stop it. Stop it. Stop it. And let's be responsible for our own survival. So, Brother Scott, I want to say thank you for being on today.
Thank you for having me.
You were able to make this so simple. And here's the thing, y'all. Y'all notice either from Janice to Brother Scott, you see how calm everybody is? You see how we're talking? We're not sensational and but that's what Scientology does. It calms that storm, baby, so that you can take it, apply it, and then share it with others. So thank you, brother. We're going to go to a commercial break and come back with our last person. But
peace and blessings. Thank you for having me, sis.
Man, I'm so happy that you're here.
And what you said about responsibility, remember, that's where your authority is. Authority is a tool of responsibility. So if you running from your authority, come and get your authority, y'all. Do this.
Get your authority. That's right. Thank you, brother.
Much love to you, sis.
All right, love. And we'll be back, y'all. Stay tuned after these messages. Peace.
Hey, everybody. This is Asadah, the founder of the Soulful Chicago Book Fair. We're in our 8th year. Can you believe that? And have even gone as far as the metaverse with this book fair. But I'm an author. So I knew that I needed to do something to bring life to writers, because we don't really get a good road. Dancing does, fine art does, but somebody needed to put the authors on stage. So I chose to do it. If you see, look, my man L. Ron Hubbard, I'm a Scientologist. He said, look, ow. He said, if you see a problem, look at what you didn't do and know why it's a problem. And so my thing was, hey, we need more events for writers. I need to increase the literary marketplace. So I do the book fair. And here I am. And this is our Soulful Chicago Spring Fling Book Fair. And I'm having a good old time. I done danced, I done ran, I done sold books and ate some food. So stay in tune so you can be at everything we do. Peace.
Every day, millions of people ask, what is Scientology? Here's an idea. What if you just take a look?
See for yourself.
What if you see for yourself
No one else can see.
who we are,
No one else.
what we believe,
See for yourself.
and what we stand for? Our doors are open
See for yourself.
to all people of all faiths in every corner of the world.
Just look inside. You will know it when you see with your own eyes.
So what is Scientology?
See for yourself.
Maybe it's time to look and decide for yourself.
I love it. See for yourself. Now, stop going on what other people say about things. Anything in life that you want to employ and that you want to get involved in, see for yourself. Don't be listening to people. Anyway, I think that's a perfect segue to my next guest because I love her. Oh my God. She's connected to a brother who we roll on a business tip. Boo, 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 boo. But here she come like a flower out of nowhere. Where'd she come from? But I know one thing, she came in that Scientology and she was busting those courses out. So let me bring up this beauty. Hello, Betty.
Hello. How are you?
What a chocolate princess you are. You're just such a chocolate queen. Look at you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for being here, no doubt, because you know, when I think of people that I admire that use the tech, you actually come up a lot in my mind.
Oh,
and it's because I watched you effortlessly see something, start it, apply it, and then keep going. Boop, 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 boop. Like, you know, so I guess my first question to you is, yeah, how'd you come about Scientology and why did you stick with it? Like, why did you start courses?
So the first time I heard, first of all, thank you for having me on and even having the opportunity to speak with the audience about Scientology. This was probably the very first time that I've spoken about Scientology at all in public. So yeah, so I'm excited. So I first heard about it from my husband. And he said, you know, he was just so excited about Scientology and this course that he was taking was just so amazing and all the other courses that he took before. And I'm like, what is this? What is he talking about? Like, I've never heard of the term Scientology at all prior to speaking with him. And so finally, one time we went to one of your events, actually. You invited us to attend. And he said, let's just go there and make it a date night. So we did. We went, and I was just in awe of just the testimonials of people and just the information that was shared even during that event. And I said, wow, I have to come back and experience it for myself. And I did. I surely did. And I started taking those courses, and it really changed my life. It changed my perspective on a lot of things, and I'll go into that a little bit deeper as we go through. And I'm looking down because I have some of the books with me that I actually, you know, the courses that I took and that I continue to take.
Nice. So look, y'all, what I like that you've seen so far is a lovely variety of people.
Yes.
We don't all look one way, like they're all in head wraps. Oh God, it's you just getting this flavor of us. That sister that came on first, Janice, the child don't look like she 3 years from 70 years old. The child gorgeous. She's a painter. Then you got my brother from the nation, and then you got this beauty who's coming to the table. What's your background like professionally? Because I need them to understand that also. The first sister was, the brother said, I'm a farmer. She said, I'm a painter. What's your background? So they could kind of see how this is overlapping no matter what.
Yeah, wow. So where do I start? So professionally, I've worked in healthcare for the last 20 years. That's my professional also work. But I have a business as a career coach. And so how does someone who have a background as a healthcare professional and a career coach, how does that even happen? And how can this help? How did Scientology help? Well, really, there's something that one of the attendees said during that event that caught my attention. Was in my coaching work, there's a lot of mindset work that needs to happen, even in the career space, right? And I remembered this woman saying that, Scientology helped her when she was helping others, people would resent her for helping, right? And she couldn't understand why is that, people would resent her. Now I'm not quoting her exact words, but this is my takeaway from what she indicated, right? And I'm like, wow, that's, I've experienced that as well. Like I would help people actually get to their goal. And then there was some type of resentment there for actually helping these people get there. And I didn't understand the connection. Why would that even happen? And when she said that, and I had shared with her side note, like, oh my goodness, this is something I'm experiencing. And when I finally dove into the courses, I'm like, oh, so there's some tools right there that that even as a coach are really helpful and beneficial to unlock some of those blocks for myself, but also for the people that I'm helping. Because we all want to help, but sometimes we're not helping in the way that we should. And taking this course has made me a better coach.
Girl, let me show y'all something. She don't even know, girl. She gonna be like, why are you doing that? I don't care. Watch this. Woo! Hercules. That's her taking the courses, finishing the courses. And it was no joke because you had just had a child.
Yes.
And so you didn't go, I just had a child. I can't do it. Not that somebody sounds like that. I don't know. But you made it go right to get there, to get that knowledge. How was that for you? What was that like?
It was empowering. As you mentioned, I just had a child. So those of you who just had children, you understand the hair situation. Anyway, I'm moving on.
You silly.
So anyway, I just had a child, and when you become a mom, it changes you. You change your whole perspective on life changes. Okay, like it just changes you completely. Yes. You don't see things the same way you used to. Things that were cute before, you like, that's not cute. Right. So it did, and so I wanted to be the best human being that I could possibly be for this new child that came into the world as I'm being a mother. And I felt like the best way to do that was for me to grow, for me to show the example. Oftentimes we leave it up to children to have the responsibility of being what you want the standard to be, but you're not following that standard. And that don't go that way. It doesn't.
That part.
Right. It doesn't work that way. And I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be that mom. I want to be a mom who led by example.
Yes.
And so those tools, unlocking some of these blocks that I didn't understand before, really helped me be a better person and more in tune with my children's feelings.
I love that. Look, y'all see, watch this, girl. I'm not playing with y'all. These are the courses that some of them that she took. Let me just share this, honey. Now, you see, those are called life improvement courses. And you see that one on the bottom, the second one on the bottom say, how to improve relationships with others. That's the one I said I had to take because I wasn't mean, but I was not tolerant of your nonsense. Shut up.
Yeah.
And so I needed to look at that because even though I was a leader, I was a leader that would get the task done, but I wasn't concerned about the people involved in the process. And I learned that at a young age. And so when but there was nothing to fix it. Really, I was in an organization that we discussed in and I looked at it, but it was Scientology that gave me a course to handle it. And so look at these courses. There's one right there that talks about parenting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Parenting teens and tweens, which is something that you also have to deal with, right?
Yes, I do.
Talk about it, girl.
Well, you know, I've inherited 2 bonus children, and I love them very much. They're mine. I consider them mine. You know, no offense to the moms, you guys. You know, I never would take over that role, right? But I still have a relationship with them, and I wanted to be able to not only lead by example for our 3rd newborn, right, but for them as well, and understand where they were coming from, or you know what their feelings were, you know, because when you're a teen and a tween, you're going through a lot of changes, you know, and I don't want to add any instability to that. Like I really want to understand you and help. I wanted to help them to, you know, be able to get to their own goals without coaching, but being a parent. Not being overbearing, like, I want to help you. But, you know, but then again, you know, give them some space to try to figure some things out too, on their own journey.
And what I love about all of this, you guys, is that here's a sister who's professional, she took courses, and it's just so much more to take.
Yes.
Because there are just these facets of life. One of the books up there said, like I said, how to improve relationships with others. There was another one, time management. Now, some of y'all still out there talking about CP time in 2024. Stop it. Stop being late. That's out ethics, okay? Because you're inconveniencing the people on the other side waiting for you to be on time. But there's a course about time management. And when you take that, it ain't even what you think. It's about some other things regarding planning and just very powerful. If you are a business person, that course right there, setting and achieving your goals. Hold on, let me give a moment of silence. That course will eat a business plan. A business plan can't touch setting and achieving your goals. So these courses are just so, weren't they simple?
They were simple. There was a lot of support during the time that I was taking these courses. And, you know, it does something to you mentally. Like you're taking the courses and you're like, oh, that's why this is like that. And then, you know, you still have to answer some questions to make sure you really understand, you know, but sometimes we take courses and we kind of skim through it and we're like, okay, I took that course. No, not this. You're not going to skim through anything here. Okay. You're going to take the course, you're able to understand really the material in which you're reading. Yes. One other thing that really caught my attention was knowledge of words, you know, and misunderstandings that happen very often because we don't understand the definitions of the words that we are using. And so even in my own practice now, what I do is I'll define a word before I start getting into the actual what's going on.
You better say that.
Okay, because I need you to understand, what are we actually saying here? What are we talking about? You know, something that I had maybe a week or two ago where we're talking about something very simple like networking. I broke that word down. I said, what is actually networking? Interacting and exchanging information. That is all it is. But see, when you take these courses, you're more in tune with words. You understand the words, and you're very meticulous when you're using them. You know, and you can't move on with the course. Like, you know, when you don't understand a word and you're just kind of stuck there. You're stuck there because you don't understand the word, but you didn't understand that at first. You're just kind of like, oh, I get it, you know. But no, there's one word that's off. And again, a lot of misunderstandings happen because we don't understand words. And that's very apparent on social media when we see that.
Man, I mean, and as a mother, I know mothers are watching. That's invaluable when you have a child, because I remember we were on the train one day. My daughter was like 7 or so, and there was a guy sitting across from us who was reading a book. Well, when we looked back up, he was like this, with the book open like that. And so my little girl said, Patience said, "Mommy, he has a misunderstood word." As a 7-year-old baby. Boom, she knew. He got that book open. He's sleeping. He has a misunderstood word. So that's invaluable for her. She's 20 now. So her going, and when she went into college with that data, I made sure that she came in Scientology and took the basic study manual, which teaches the physical manifestations of not understanding words.
Wow.
Where do you learn that? Come on, y'all playing games. You know you don't learn that in college.
No.
In Scientology, a lot of times sometimes you hear them say people come out worse when they leave college because they have so many misunderstood words. They come out and they're not good in their profession, not as good as they can be, because like I'm in the cryptocurrency world. Yo, them people be doing them presentations, talking about all that cryptocurrency, When I do presentations, I clear those words. Cryptocurrency, crypto means secretive, right? Like cryptic. And then currency, cryptocurrency. So currency that has sort of a secret code. And so it's not like the others. And so it's just very basic, but you got to break it down, or else people just, they go out and don't even consider how to use it.
That's
right. We got about 2 minutes left. Oh no. What would you say? What kind of message would you leave to anybody that's similar to you, or just to our general audience about the usage of Scientology? And again, you guys, just so you know, I'm showing this for a reason, because the event we have is stellar. This Juneteenth event, guys, this is where we're going to expose Scientology to our people, but we're going to look at freedom, not the freedom we asked for when Juneteenth came about, freedom from slavery. We're looking at the freedom we're getting ready to create, and that we're going to take, and that's the difference. So give them some wisdom, baby, and talk about the freedom you want to create for yourself with the usage of the tech.
Woo. I mean, I've been freed already several times over. I think that it's something to consider. You know, there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to Scientology. And I think that it doesn't matter, you've already mentioned, it doesn't matter what your background is, even your religious background really doesn't matter, honestly. Get the tool, get the information, get the knowledge so you can invest in yourself to be the better version of you. It has definitely been beneficial for myself. As I mentioned to you before, you know, it's improved my relationships, not just with others, but improved my relationship with myself. It's made me become a better mom. I'm a lot more patient, a better wife, a better wife. And I'm a better professional business person. So I'm aware. When you're aware of how you move and what were the blocks, and then not just what they were, but actually unlocking them and just doing away with it, you know, and so that you can move on. It's just amazing. It's amazing. And the last thing I want to say, like one of the courses I'm looking over, but one of the courses that really struck me was this one, I would say Ups and Downs, because I didn't understand, like I'm like, you know, and it's not really even what you think it is with the title, but at the same time, it's definitely relatable, because things were not at a stable state for me, like not how I wanted them to be. And I couldn't really understand like what the dynamics were around it, or what was happening. Yeah. And when I was able to take that course, I don't have those issues anymore. I don't have that problem. No. And it's not until today I realized, oh, you really don't even, you don't even move like that no more. Like you knew. So, so I would say, please consider, take a course, take one, and see where that leads you. At least that.
Look, y'all, I could see it in you, baby. No, for real. I could see it in your countenance. Look, y'all playing games. I know we got to end, but I just want to show you. You can literally see the difference in you as a being. Look, y'all. We love the curly Q, whatever you talking about. But your countenance looks like a calm, mature sister. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Versus you was cute here too, but you could see the maturity and the beauty, baby. So I want to say thank you for coming on today. Thank you for applying the tech, and we're going to keep going. You guys, thank you for being here. Be here next Tuesday for Gathering of the Griots for more grandeur. But for now, we're going to say goodbye, and we love you. Peace. Bye. All right, let's get it.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jaref. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.